Okay, students, I hope you are all well and healthy and ready to learn the new things. So, my name is PALAK Patel. I am working in the Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technical Education and Research Center, NAVSARI, in Civil Engineering Department. I am going to teach you the subject is Building and Town Planning. This subject are in BE second year SEM 3. So in this lecture, we will study building bylaws. So what is building bylaws? Building bylaws is a law which is used for the regulate construction of a building or a structure. Okay, by this law, a local authority means a subordinate authority can control a construction of a building. Okay, every locality have different weather condition, different availability of material and labor. Okay, so bylaws are depend on these things. Imagine if you try to build a house in a Jammu Kashmir. At that time, Jammu Kashmir we found a snowfall. We feel a snowfall are there. So that time a building requirement is different. If you try to build a house in Rajasthan or Gujarat, Kutch, their weather condition is different. So building house requirement is different out there. Same thing for the material. In the Rajasthan and Kutch we found some different material compared to Jammu and Kashmir. So by this weather condition and availability of material, building bylaws is changed by every local area or say district. Okay, so that's why building bylaws are framed by a local authority or subordinate authority. So why we require building bylaws? Simple phenomena. If you build a house, if you build a structure for the profit only, at that time you will not, or contractor or owner will not follow the law, will not provide sufficient requirement of the client. They will not use a required material because they only follow the profit. That's why building bylaws is used. So building bylaws in India is rooted by a British Town Planning Act 1909, and this first Town Planning Act is aimed to beautify the city and its surrounding and provide healthy living condition to its general public. Then after we publish a National Building Code NBC in 1970 by Bureau of Indian Standard to maintain the uniform building regulation throughout the country for the guidance of government department, municipal bodies, urban development authority and other construction agencies. So first National Building Code is published in 1917, and after the publication, three major amendments. Amendments means changes, added or replacement. Some rules in a National Building Code is called amendments. Three major amendments were issued considering a series of further development in the field of building construction, including the lessons learned in the aftermath of manner of natural calamities. Natural calamities means earthquake or super cyclone. By these natural calamities, National Building Code is amendment after study of the damaged building. So what we require, what we have to follow the rules, how much provide a setback, how much provide margin. Okay, and then after revised NBC, revised National Building Code has now been brought out as NBC 2005. Okay, and National Building Code has different sections, means integrated approach, development control rules and general building requirement. These are the sections. Integrated approach and development control rules are the section, but in the integrated approach we have some rules are there. You assume there is a book and different chapters in it, like integrated approach is first chapter, second chapter is development control rules, and integrated approach we have some rules how to approach, and development control rules we have also some rules. Same thing for the fire and life safety. In a fire and life safety section, we have some rule how to provide fire and life safety to the building. Then after second chapter is second section is building materials. In this section, we provide information about construction building materials. Then after structural design, construction practice and safety. And then after building services, lighting and ventilation, electrical and allied installation, air conditioning, acoustic sound insulation, installation of lift and accelerator, plumbing services, landscaping sign and outdoor display structures. These are the sections in the National Building Code (NBC). So in this all the sections we have some required rules, required conditions which we have to follow in a construction. Then after objective of the building bylaws, objective is achievement by the building bylaws what we have to try to achieve. Building bylaws give a guideline to the architecture or engineers and thus help in pre-planning the building activity. These are the first objective. Building bylaws give a guidelines. They give a guidelines by the rules. They give a guidelines to the architecture and engineer. Building bylaws allow ordinary growth and prevent hazardous development. Allow orderly growth. Building bylaws allowed town to grow and prevent hazardous development like slum area. By the building bylaws, we can control a slum area. Provisions of bylaw usually afford safety against fire, noise, health, hazard, and structural failure. They provide proper utilization of space. Objective of building bylaws. They provide health, safety and comfort to the people who lived in the building. Each building will have proper approaches, light, air and ventilation. They specify the types of material to be used. So by the using building bylaw, we achieved this type of objectives. Okay, by using building bylaws we provide safety against fire, noise and health and structural failure. So these are the objective, these are the achievement which we have to reach by using building bylaws. Scope of building bylaws. Scope during planning and construction of any building, certain restrictions are laid down by municipal bodies, urban development authorities and other government departments. During planning and construction of any building, certain restrictions, some restrictions are laid down by municipal bodies. In the building construction, some restrictions are provided by the municipal bodies to control unnecessary development. Why they provide certain restrictions? Municipal body, urban development authority, and other government departments. Why they provide restrictions? Because they don't want to unnecessary development in a town. Okay. The proposed plan of building are to be prepared according to these bylaws, which are checked and approved by the above authorities. So what they have to check by the authorities? First is building frontage lines. Building frontage lines. Second, minimum plot sizes. Build up area of buildings. Height of the buildings. Open spaces around buildings. Size and roof height of rooms. Provisions of opening for proper light and ventilation. Provisions for safety from fire and explosion. Provisions for means of access. Provisions for water supply and drainage. These are the scope of building bylaws. I hope you understand. Okay, then once more, the provision for safety of worker against hazard or accident. Requirements for off-street parking spaces. Requirements for a green belt and landscaping. Special requirement for a low income housing. Sizes of structural element. These are the scope of building bylaws. So by the using building bylaws, we can achieve this type of plan. Now, applicability of building bylaws. When or where we can apply a building bylaws. So first application is at a new construction. While we construct a new building. At that time, we need approve a plan and design and construction according to local municipal building bylaws. For the new construction, we can use building bylaws. Second is addition and alteration of building. In addition and alteration of building means certain addition, alteration, modification or extension of a structure. For using this type of construction in the building, we provide a plan in a concerned authority from licensed person. Licensed person means an architecture and structural engineer who have a license for this type of work. For the addition and alteration work, we require a licensed person for submission to a concerned authority. Understand both the thing? New construction and additional alteration of the building. Simple. For the new construction, we need a building bylaws according to local municipal building bylaws. And additional alteration of the building, at that time we required a licensed person for submission to a concerned authority. Then are much more criteria here. The wild development of land, where development of land is undertaken, the bylaws applied to the entire development of land. Where the occupancy of a building is changed, the building bylaws apply to all parts of the building affected by the change. When any part or a whole of the building is demolished, the bylaws applied to remaining part of a building and to work involved in the demolition. Okay, so at that condition, for the new construction or addition or alteration of building, or for the development of land, for the occupancy of building is changed and demolition time, we require to follow building bylaws. Okay, the occupancy of the building is changed means, occupancy of the building is changed means, if I am house, I want to open my small office in my residential building. At that time, I convert my one room in my office or in a store, in a general department. Store means a general department. Okay, at that time I required a building bylaws permission, means local authorities permission apply to all part of the building effective by the change, means that room is required to be bylaws follow for the office building. Okay, applicability of the building. Then function of local authority. A local authority is a body created by law. One of the important duties of local authority is to frame suitable rules and regulations. Suitable rules and regulations, and to provide suitable infrastructure for its successful implementation. Okay, simple. So local authorities not only to provide create a rules and regulation. Their duty is also to check the infrastructure for this successful implementation. Okay, and one more important duty is for the local authority. If some error in a building bylaws, some wrong data in building bylaws, at that time they have to listen. Architecture or structural engineer or some professional worker and try to change in it. Okay, if some problem is faced by a structural engineer or architecture, at that time local authority have to fulfill the requirement. These are the duties of local authority. Indian Standard Institution and Organization of Government of India has published IS 1256 1967 Code of Building Laws covering all the silent aspects of building activities. The approval of plans means acceptance of local authority of the following requirement only. Arrangements of stair, lifts, corridor, door, window and parking. Height of building and its various stories. These are the local authority follow requirement. These are the requirements, okay? minimum requirements of high-rise building or low-rise building. Permissible of FSI. FSI means floor space index, or called floor area ratio, FAR. We will discuss this later. Permissible build-up area. Minimum requirement with respect of area of the rooms. Permissible open spaces and setback. Permissible use of building. Minimum requirements of sanitary facility, provision of light and ventilation. Then after one more condition here, the unnecessary delay. The unnecessary delay in sectioning of a plans may lead to the following undesirable consequences. If local authority is delay in approve a plan, at that time some undesirable consequences will appear, like increase in housing shortage. If a local authority will not approve a plan, at that time housing shortage will be increased, and by the increase of housing shortage, formation of more slums will be grown, and by the more slums, financial burden on the local authority will be increased for the removal or improvement. Assume the slums area are growing. Slums area are growing. At that time, local authority have to replace some slum families to the different area and provide some compensation. They provide some compensation to their family, which is transferred for slum to another area. This increase financial burden on the local authorities. Local authority may also suffer losses in revenue from the various taxes such as water tax, sanitary tax and betterment charges, etc. If building construction is not completed, the client not reach at the house and some other problem will be reached. At that time, how local authority can collect water tax and sanitary tax and many more different charges. So there is also a loss in revenue. And this thing is considered depression in the construction industry as a whole. Why is it called a depression? Imagine the owner give money to the contractor for a construction building and plan is not approved by the local authority. At that time, construction will not start. So money flow will be stopped. How owner gives the money to the contractor for construct a building, and contractor gives this money to the labor. And after a construction of building completed, the client buy a building and give money to the owner. Okay, so this is the money flow from owner to contractor to labor to client and last one, owner. So this money flow rotates every time, and if plan is not approved, the money will stop at a contractor only. And if money flow is stopped, it's created depression. If money flow is stopped, it creates a depression. So by the unnecessary delay, we found sometimes a depression in the construction industry. I hope you understand these things. Okay, so in the next lecture we will discuss about different areas like build-up area, carpet area, plinth area. Okay, so we will meet soon as possible, and then take care and